Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. While the town of St. Paul is still reeling from a deadly school crash last week, the man accused with slamming his vehicle into a St. Paul classroom faced the judge. Richard Benson made his first court appearance today and is now facing stiffer charges. Benson was facing 3 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily harm, and today those charges were upgraded to 1 count of criminal negligence causing death and 2 counts of criminal negligence causing bodily harm.
I prefer not to say much about it. I'm surprised about it. I don't think it's justified, but in time we'll tell whether or not there's any validity to them.
No decision on his bail was made. The defense lawyer says these types of cases can be very hard.
There are always tough cases because there's been a loss of life and community is shaken by them. That having been said, the reason we trust our justice system is because cooler heads prevail to make rational decisions.
Benson's next court appearance is scheduled for this Thursday. Meantime, Meadow Lake RCMP are investigating what they call 2 suspicious sudden deaths. Police found the 2 bodies inside a Rapid View residence today. 1 man is in custody, arrested with a weapon in his vehicle over 280 kilometers away in Prince Albert. The RCMP Major Crimes Unit North Forensic Identification Section members from North Battleford, Prince Albert, GIS, and local members are all investigating. The names of the 2 deceased are not being released at this time. A 13-year-old girl is recovering in hospital after a 16-year-old allegedly shot her. RCMP responded to the incident around 10 o'clock last night on the Saddle Lake First Nation. Police believe the firearm went off during an argument between the teens, hitting the girl in the arm. She was transported to an Edmonton hospital. Her injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. The 16-year-old boy has been arrested and charges are pending. Well, wicked winter weather is creating treacherous road conditions in our region, causing a spike in crashes in and around Lloydminster.
There's a lot more than normal, a lot of trucks involved, a lot of semis, jackknife vehicles, especially just outside town. So yeah, people need to just take care and realise it's winter and it's going to take a little longer to get where they're going.
RCMP say the best advice to avoid a crash is simply to slow down.
The higher the speed, the greater the danger, and you're not going to stop as quickly as you would on even wet roads with these current conditions.
And if you are heading out on the roads tonight, watch for icy conditions. Major highways are now salted but may freeze with the temperature dropping. And emergency crews had their hands full dealing with a couple of crashes in the city over the weekend. This crash happened at 62nd Avenue and 52nd Street yesterday afternoon. RCMP say the driver of the pickup slammed into an SUV carrying 2 adults and 4 children. The jaws of life were needed to get one of the adults out of the SUV. Police say it was snowing and that there were icy patches, so motorists need to drive according to the conditions.
Drivers, slow down. It's Lloydminster's not that big. You shouldn't be in that big of a hurry to get to where you're going.
All drivers and passengers in both vehicles were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Charges are pending against the pickup driver. Meantime, earlier on Sunday, RCMP responded to a multi-vehicle crash at the intersection of College Drive and 36th Street. 2 people were taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police have charged a truck driver in that case. Battleford's RCMP have arrested a suspect in connection with multiple break-and-enters in the area. Police seized a large amount of stolen property and firearms over the weekend, arresting 1 man. Liam Bassingwaite was in court this morning and was slapped with multiple charges. Well, RCMP want parents to make sure they talk to their kids about the dangers of calling for 911 for the fun of it. Police say they received a dozen calls in about an hour and a half yesterday from a deactivated cell phone. In the repeat calls, the children made claims about a fire, but because the calls were short, police had a tough time tracking them. Eventually, the calls were traced to a local residence. Police say there was no emergency and that the callers were aged 4, 5, and 7 years old. Parents are being urged to not give old cell phones to kids as toys, as they can still be used to call 911. The county of Vermilion River has a new Reeve following Richard Van E's decision to retire at the end of his term. Brent Romanchuk is the new man in charge after serving almost 2 decades on the council for the county.
To be entrusted by your council is the biggest thing, and council put the trust in me to be the Reeve for their upcoming year, and I really appreciate that.
Going forward, there are a number of ongoing challenges Reeve Romanchuk will be working to address with council.
We've got future development between Blackfoot and Lloydminster, which is a challenge to continue on with that, and so we'll be doing that. We've got upcoming phases for development in the hamlet of Blackfoot itself, so we have to make some decisions around that. We've got major infrastructure pressures on our roads throughout the county, so we'll work with industry to come up with hopefully a long-term plan to address that. Regional water is ongoing. I've been chair of that for a number of years, so I'll continue in that role, and we'll continue to work to getting water to the east side of the region. So,
with the county's strong and diverse group of councillors, he's confident in what they're working to accomplish.